Hey, so listen, I just want to put some on your mind right quick and just let you know that um, be mindful of how you display your significant others, how you display your friends, because it's always somebody who has bad intentions, and it's always someone who, their whole job in life is to upstage you or to follow in your footsteps, right? You hold a lot of weight to people that you may never know who they are, or you may know who they are, and you may not know that they're paying that much attention to you and how you move around, right? And because you hold so much weight in their life, they don't mind walking in your footsteps, right? And if they can't walk in your footsteps, they'll send their best friend to walk in your footsteps, right? They'll send their best sister to walk in your footsteps, right? Because you hold just that much weight, right? So who you could be dealing with a dude and they may have known that dude all their life, right? They could have had plenty of opportunities to be with this person before you. But once they find out that you dealing with them, listen, that person is on their radar. You hear me? That person is on their radar just because of you, just because of the weight that you hold. Because a lot of times, because women are so competitive, right? Listen, all it takes is for them to see, hey, one popular girl, one girl who had a certain kind of name for herself, one chick who she's supposed to be somebody in the neighborhood or whatever. She the one who do have the best in the city. She do the best lashes. She had a had the best little cooking thing going on. If she's supposed to be anybody in the city, she has to be, if she's wise, she will be mindful who she's connected to, who she lets know about who she's connected to, right? And how she move around, because little do she know, her name alone, like Trick Daddy said, her name alone is known to break up happy homes, right? Because her name carries so much weight, and people want to emulate her. People want to be around her. People want to have what she have. People want to walk in the shoes that she's walked in. People want to lay in the same bed and up under the same man that she's laid up under, just to say that they've done what she's done, right? They would never do it like she's done it, but they don't even care about that. They don't even care about that. They can be a third of the woman that she is. They don't care about that. They just want to be able to say they've done something that she's done, because that makes them feel equal or higher than her, right? So be mindful that if you think you anybody, or if you feel like you really somebody, listen, your business is not everybody's business. You know why? Because of those people who they will befriend someone that they feel is your friend. They will get close to anybody they feel like, is close to you, or can put them up on what you have going on for all the wrong reasons. They just want to feel like they connected to you. They just want to feel like, hey, they can do the same thing you have done. And guess what? They can do the same thing you've done if they put in the work that you've put in. If they do what you do, they can possibly have the same outcome as you've had. But see, what they don't consider is the fact that it's a lot of it's other things at play other than just what you've done in life. It's favor. Some of the things that you have been blessed with, and some of the reasons why people like you, and some of the reasons why guys like you, and some of that is just favor, right? So that dude would never like her the way he liked it you. But that's the part she don't know. That's the part she's not factoring that in. So she will come in and be willing to do all kinds of things that you was never willing to do. She'll come in and be willing to accept all kinds of things that you were never willing to accept. And she thinks that you was willing to accept those things. She thinks that you were willing to do those things, right? And then if she hear that you wasn't, then that make her poke her chest out even further, because she like, oh, well, I'm going to do this since she didn't do that. Not realizing that your standards and your morals and the way you was raised and who you was raised by kept you from doing all those things. So she may think, well, she thinks she's one up in you. Really, she's still sliding in below you, right? So you have to be mindful that in today's time, it's a whole lot of competition going on. And a lot of times the competition is in a person's mind and in their heart, because really and truly, they can never compete with you, right? But in their heart and in their mind, they just want to be something better than what they are. And when they look your way, they feel like, hey, you are everything that they really aspire to be, right? So if they can mess with somebody that you done mess with, if they could befriend somebody you done, and then they're going to try extra harder to try to do it better than what you did. But they don't realize that some things, listen, you could throw your whole bank account at it. You could throw your whole wardrobe at it. You could throw everything you got at it and still not be as good at that thing as the other person who you trying to outdo. Because some people have a naturalness about them that it's going to always shine through. You can't beat them being them. Right? You can't beat them being them, but that is not going to stop a person from trying. So that's why in my mind, I noticed years ago as a young chick coming up, I noticed that it would be dudes that ain't nobody paid attention to them until they found out that I was dealing with them. He could have been ugly. He could have been just a little old nobody. And all of a sudden, boy, he popping just because they found out that I was dealing with them. Once I learned about that, oh, you ain't had to worry about me telling everybody who I'm dealing with, or you ain't had to worry about that. That's from when I was a shorty, because listen, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that, and that's not to say that you have to hide someone, or you have to feel like, you cannot display personal things, because you can, and it's to each his own. But in today's time, you really want to be mindful who you show up with and who you show up, how y'all show up. Oh, that's your best friend. Okay, well, cool, that's your best friend. But just know it's chicks who will try to come and purposely befriend her. Right? And they come in and, oh, girl, let's go on the trip. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And if your friend ain't strong-minded, she'll be like, oh, okay. Now that's her new best friend in 2 weeks. Right? Not knowing that it ain't even about her. It's about the other chick. She want to be able to come in and feel like she has one up on this chick for whatever reason. Sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's admiration. And that's the truth. Sometimes it's jealousy, but sometimes it's admiration. Sometimes just being able to deal with somebody or be in the presence, of somebody that makes that person feel good for whatever reason, to be able to say, oh yeah, I talked to such and such. You remember he used to go with such and such? Yeah, nah, they ain't together no more, girl. Yeah. All you care about is it's like you may as well be going with the girl, because that's really who you have admirations for. You have more admiration for his ex-girlfriend than you actually have for him. You just glad to be there. You're just glad to be able to walk in that girl's footsteps, to be able to be a inch in her shadow. Because one thing about it, that's all you'll ever be. When those are your intentions, that's all you'll ever be, is in that person's shadow. Because you didn't go in it for the right reason anyway. And a lot of times we sit on the outside right? And we looking in and looking over and feeling like, going off of what we hear and what we heard, this, that, and the third. And we like, oh, I'm going to do this. And it's going to be better than what she was doing. And he going to like me better than listen, that man may never tell you, that girl ain't had to do none of what you did. And I still was crazy about her. And I still was crazy about her. And she didn't do half of what you came in here doing. You know what I'm saying? And if he had the opportunity, he still would deal with that same girl again, with her not doing any of what the other girls done came in doing. So you have to be mindful, like, ladies, don't play yourself. Do not play yourself. You got to give people the energy that they give you, right? Especially when you're dealing with a man. If you come in there doing all these big grandiose things, trying to outdo the last chick that he was with, you look like a plumb fool. But if you want to look like a fool, hey, then fool look good on you. You hear me? If you don't mind, surely nobody else minds. But you got to understand, you could come in and do all these wonderful things, and that man still do not like you in the way that he liked her. Or you come in and you do all these things, and okay, he do like you because he likes what you're doing. But do he like you more than what you're doing, or do he like what you're doing more than he like you? That's something that you're going to always have to contend with, right? But I ain't never going to tell a person exactly how they should move, because it's always to each his own. And it's always, situations where, hey, it could go exactly opposite of what I'm saying. But for the most part, right? For the most part, a lot of times things will play out in certain ways, and you could be like, yep, knew that was going to happen. But anyways, I'm just here just to remind y'all, everybody ain't in your life for the reason that you think they are, and with women, with us, sometimes we real catty, sometimes we really insecure, sometimes we really jealous, sometimes we really have a bad spirit, and we just want to win. We just want to win. Sometimes we don't even want the man. We just want to say we got him and we with him and she's not. Right? Especially after we done invested a little bit. If we've invested something, or we done, had sex with dude a couple times or whatever, listen, yeah, sometimes we could just be in it for the game of it, not for the love or for the friendship. We just in it for the game of it. And once we have invested so much, we really do not want to lose. Right? So we'll stay in it and play in it for as long as it takes. And really and truly, your heart and your mind just it really ain't in it. But you done stayed in it so long, and you done invested so much in it that you don't want to look like a loser. Right? You really don't. So just be mindful. And fellas, y'all be mindful too, because like I said, a lot of times, listen, you don't know why this girl is coming at you. I've seen this thing like fall out so many ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes women come at you with real genuine intentions, and they just really want to be with you. Sometimes these women coming to you because guess what? They done already been ran through with women. They done been ran through with men. They done did everything but you. Now they here on your doorstep like, okay, here I am. Right? So you just be mindful. Like, I know y'all have y'all egos, and y'all want to feel like, this girl is just so crazy about me. Sometimes she just can't find nobody. Sometimes she done had everybody, and nothing still works because she has not done the work on self. Right? So all this stuff that she doing for you is really presenting as low self-esteem, but of course you're going to benefit off of it. Of course you're going to feel like she's looking out for you. She's doing something so special, not realizing this baby done been up, down, and through there, and she ain't did no work on herself. So what she's doing for you, she's willing to do for anybody that will entertain her. Right? But because you may be in a situation where you need what she doing, you don't even see past none of that. Like, so that's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes the same way women cannot see the forest for the trees, it's the same way with men. Sometimes y'all cannot see the forest for the trees. But anyways, yeah, y'all have a good one.